Okay, so today we're going through my top 5 tips for brand new runners. These are my 5 tips in terms of how you get your most out of your running, how you stick to it, and basically how best to approach it, in my opinion, in terms of I was that guy who flitted in and out of running. Hopefully these 5 tips will help you to get into running, stick with it, and stay in it for the long run. So let's dive straight in. These are my 5 top tips. So yes, these are just my top 5 tips for new runners. Again, just a bit of a background. I was the same guy, I was the same runner. I've literally dripped in and out of running, started it for a bit, lost interest and left it for a bit, came back to it again, didn't get into it, fell out of it again, did it for a few months. So I'm saying this from a point of view. I've done the same types of things, done things wrong, and therefore lost motivation and lost interest. So yeah, and again, this is just my opinion. Take it with a pinch of salt, or a handful of salt, or a bucket full of salt, whatever you want. But yeah, it's just what I find will help new runners, help you to run consistently and stay with running, and then therefore get to the point where I am now, where I've dropped in and out of running, and now I'm running consistently. I have run consistently now for pretty much 2 years, and I can't see myself now never running every week. So hopefully these 5 hints and tips might get you somewhere towards that, if that's what you want to do. So again, in no particular order. Okay, so yeah, so the first thing you got to be doing as a new runner is making sure you're running consistently. So it doesn't matter if that's once a week, twice a week, 3 times, whatever, it doesn't really matter how many times. Just make sure it's consistent, make a plan. If you can only fit in 1 run a week, fine, put it in a plan. If it's a weekend run, every weekend you get out and you run. I find it's the biggest first step. There's no point running 2-3 times a week for 3 weeks and then stopping till spring, and then going out again for 2 or 3 runs, and then stopping because you're going away for a bit, and then autumn you revisit it and do a couple of runs. Okay, again, common knowledge is it's around 12 weeks for any kind of habit to form, so you're going to have to run consistently for about 12 weeks, which roughly is 3 months before a habit starts to form. And at that point it'll feel part of your normal routine, just like getting up brushing your teeth does. So consistency is the key at the start. You've got to get out, run regularly, I'll get onto pace and stuff later on, but just get out the door, get a run in. If it's once or twice a week, doesn't matter. Again, doesn't matter how far or how fast, just matters you do it. So run consistently is the first one. My top tip for a new runner: get out, run consistently over a period of time, at least 3 months, and hopefully by that point the running habit has formed and you'll be fully immersed in running, and hopefully it'll be here to stay. $8 miles an hour, take it. Okay, tip number 2 is enjoy it. Okay, key thing is at the start, again, it's new to you, it might feel difficult, you've got to try and enjoy it as much as you can. So that's whether that's be running at pace, so as in run at a nice slow pace, go slow, conversational so it doesn't feel very difficult, cardiovascularly, just get out, had a nice jog, like I said, enjoy the run. If you don't enjoy it early on, you won't stick with it. Yeah, so if you don't enjoy it early on, again, you're just going to demotivate yourself pretty quick. Again, this ties in with one of my other vlogs, top mistakes that runners make. I'll link to that one now, watch that. Again, that's people making mistakes of running too fast too often. Yeah, demotivating yourself pushing yourself too fast too often. So yeah, so you've got to enjoy it at the start. It's going to feel tough because it's brand new to you. You've not run much before, presumably if you're a new runner, or even if you're up in the running distance and you've been running a little bit, but you're running a bit more consistently now. Again, so you've got to enjoy it. So whether that be listen to music when you're running, stick a podcast on, try and run with a friend if you can. Again, only go out in nice dry weather to make it a bit more enjoyable. Yeah, there'll be loads of time down the line to push yourself and do intense training or PB work or whatever. Just at the start, you've got to run consistently, get out for a couple of runs once a week or more, and if you can, stick to it. And again, just enjoy the run. Don't push yourself too much too soon. Just about starting the habit out. Like I said, enjoying it with the music, podcasts, run with friends, or just running in nicer weather. Again, put the benefits in your favour to start with, and worry about other stuff later on down the line. So number 2, make sure you enjoy your running early on. Okay, just before I get on to number 3, thank you everyone for watching, tuning in. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, feel free to do so. Join the ever-growing audience for LARK Running UK. So yeah, like I said, these are in no particular order. So on to number 3. Number 3 is explore new places. Again, I see runners just running the same loop, going out the door, running around the same kind of route and loop around their house over and over and over again. And again, anybody would get bored of that pretty quick. So I always find exploring new places and varying your running is far more enjoyable and beneficial, but just in terms of the enjoyment factor to start with. So yeah, try and find new routes, do a slightly longer run, if it's just half a K or a K longer at a slightly slower pace. Try and do a slightly shorter run, maybe do, say, instead of doing a 3 or 4K run, do a 2K run as fast as you can, or a bit quicker. Again, just to vary up your training. If you're travelling somewhere new or you're away for a bit, again, get out and run there. It's a new area, have an explore. But I always find that, yeah, just trying to find new routes. Even locally, try and go a different direction. Sometimes you find a gem and you'll find a nice road. But like this one, I often find these quite country roads now. I can run down the middle of the road, very few traffic, no pedestrians, no stopping, starting. You'll find a couple of gems like this. You might also find a couple of shocking routes where it's stop start and heavy traffic and too many people, but again, at least you're aware of it and you can avoid it in future. And again, if you're used to road running and you've never gone off road, consider just trying to do a trail run once. Maybe experiment initially in a local park and just do some light trails and grass, see if you like that better than road running. I know I prefer it slightly, other people might do too. So if road running is not particularly enjoyable to you, try trail, it might be more of a preference to you, and then you might get into fell running or other things like that, cross country. So vary your running. I say try different distances, most importantly try different routes, things to look at. If I just run around my estate near my house, there would be no sheep, there'd be no ponds, there'd be lots of traffic, and I'd be stopping starting every junction to give way to cars. So yeah, to explore new routes. That's my 3rd tip, to stay in running. Okay, so tip number 4, and again, it's all subjective in terms of the importance of each of these points, so you can rank them in the order of points to yourself. But number 4 is get decent running shoes and or accessories if you need them. So again, running's one of those activities and sports that you don't need loads of stuff, mainly just t-shirt, shorts or whatever you wear, and one decent pair of shoes. And I say decent, again, subjectively, what is decent? Again, there's a bottom, a minimum level. If you just get any kind of casual shoes or fashionable trainers, they're probably not going to cut it if you're going to be running consistently and over a longer period of time. So get yourself some proper running shoes, specialist, or specially made for running, just basically it's classified as running trainers. And again, decent doesn't mean hundreds of pounds. I'm currently doing a budget shoe rotation now. My cheapest shoe is £33. The next one I bought was £34, and both of them are completely suitable. So again, you don't have to go and spend hundreds of pounds on a pair of running shoes. Just get a basic level of one, or at least a minimum level of running shoe. And again, that'll just help to aid your running. It'll make running feel that little bit easier. They're designed specifically for running, so they'll help you. And as well, it'll help prevent niggles and then injuries that you might well get if you weren't wearing running shoes. Excuse me a sec. Just running through the middle of a farm. And yes, I did check. I always check my route before I come out. I always plan a rough route. This is a restricted road, but it's open to pedestrians, as in it's a public right of way, so I can walk through it, I can run through it, I can cycle through it. But yeah, so just get yourself like I said, there's a minimum level. If you want to go and get yourself a nice expensive pair of trainers, go ahead. But I always think there's a bottom level in terms of if you get a really poor pair of trainers, you might get niggles, injuries, running might feel that much harder, and again, it'll just demotivate you, make you lose interest quite quick. So mainly it's just injury prevention as well. So get yourself a decent pair of trainers, and that's basically it. If you want to watch, to make it more convenient to look at the time and your pace and what time it is in the day, then fine. If most people again can get by with a phone these days on one of the tracking apps, so whether it be whatever, Strava or any other night running clubs or any other unmentioned tracking app. Again, it's not required for you to get any other accessories. I wear caps, headphones are sometimes useful, tops, base layers, running vests, shorts, running tights, half tights. Good pair of socks is always useful as well. Get a decent pair of, couple of pairs of running socks, couple of quid. Doesn't cost much for a pack of 3 running socks. And again, they're just a bit more specially designed, a bit more comfort around the heel and ball of your foot, breathable everywhere else so your feet don't get too hot, and again just stops hot spots and blisters, which again makes running a bit more enjoyable and problem free. So number 4 is get yourself a decent pair of running shoes and or any accessories that you might need. Okay, and then last but not least, my 5th top tip for new runners or beginning runners. Again, I'm trying to get this finished before it gets dark. I've got a long run ahead, so try to do most of it in this front half of the run before it gets dark and the footage gets a bit shaky. So my last tip, and again, it's no less important, but again, it's probably the most subjective, is maybe try a race or an event at some point down the line. So start you off running, like point 1, run consistently, and then at some point down the line maybe try an event, even a park run, which are free 5Ks every Saturday morning or across the country. You could try a park run. Yeah, so even if it's just a park run, it doesn't have to be like the London Marathon or one of the major running events. It can just be a local race, fun run, 5K, whatever. But again, I was never a massive events person or race person. I think in the 10 years I've been running right now, I've actually only entered 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 races over them 10 years, obviously because I've been dropping in and out of running, so some of them years when I wasn't even running at all. But yeah, I've never been a massive fan of races or needed them, but again, for other people it is far more sociable. It's far more enjoyable when you've done a bit of training to put it all into practice on one day and just do your best on an event day. Support from other people and the crowds, etc., again, is massively beneficial and can help get you the bug for running. So yeah, it doesn't have to be anything massive. Just try an event, park run or local race. Again, if you don't like it, you've tried it, a bit like the route exploration, try something new. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. But I always found for some people, a lot of people, you will quite enjoy a race or an event. Like I said, park runs are massively well supported. Thousands and thousands of people across the world running park runs every weekend, so I need to get down to more of them. I'm generally busy on Saturday mornings. They always start at 9 o'clock on a Saturday. I'm always busy with taking my little boy to football, so I can never really get down to them. But every time I get a chance on Saturday, like Saturday just gone, I got myself down. Really enjoyable. So that's my 5th and final tip. Done my 5. Again, feel free to drop in the comments if you are a new runner, how long you've been running, and what you found so far has been the most helpful in terms of getting you to enjoy your running or stick to running. Again, these are just the 5 things I probably didn't do enough of at the start, and hence why I dropped in and out of running. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching. I am nearly 9k in, so got most of these points in the first half of the run. It's going to be about nearly a 20k run, and actually, because of I'll be finished when I've editing this, I'll drop the run details there if you're interested. I'll be nearly 20k probably time I finish. Steady run, I'll do a little few bursts of speed in between. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching my half marathon training block. Well, number 1, the first block of my half marathon training. I think that starts the end of next week, so about 10-12 days to go till I start training for that. And that the first block is for Chester Marathon in May, and then I've got another block running straight after that one, and I'll be training for the second half marathon, which will be the Cheshire half marathon in September. So they both start soon. I'll be doing full vlogs and playlists on them and on my training. So again, if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do so and follow along. I'll get this one finished. I'll see everyone on the next one.